Hey Libra, how's it going, guys? I'm Chris. Welcome to your reading for the full moon in Gemini. Alright, so I'm going to preface this with saying I'm a little sick right now. Shouldn't interfere with the reading, but just in case I get a little nasally, in case I have to like blow my nose or something, I just be forewarned, right? But honestly, like, I think the drugs are kicking in right now. I'm feeling really hyped. Or maybe it's just like I'm excited to talk to you guys. Right? I just did the Virgo reading and it was a good reading for them, but I'm not going to say any more except all I said, I put it out to the universe, that Virgo best not show their face in this reading. Not having it with them, with you guys right now, right? If you guys are dealing with the Virgo, fuck them. We're talking about you, right? So, Gemini full moon, Mercury retrograde, right? Lots of energy, lots of connective energy with that Gemini feels, you know, and then with the Mercury retrograde, it's kind of like making us all look at our past. It's making us all like really reflect, right? Love it. First card out for you guys, Emperor. Love it. So we're reflecting on our past, right? Oh, beautiful. Exactly what I was going to be talking about. Libra, with this energy, you guys are kind of like a little in your feels about the obstacles in your life, right? What this Mercury retrograde and full moon is asking us to do for Libra is to sort of, we're all reflecting, we're all looking back, right? But for you guys, it's about the obstacles that are coming up, right? Like that you've been kind of struggling. There's been a lot of obstacles in your way, right? And what, excuse me, sorry about that. What this is, what this is asking us to do for Libra is like not get in your feels about like the challenges that you face, right? This is why I love that the Emperor came up. Right? The Emperor is like the boss, right? He's the sign of Aries. Aries is a sign that's very good at just like beating down obstacles, right? Sort of like overcoming challenges. And with the retrograde, like we usually think a lot, like we reflect. And for you guys, what's important right now is to kind of mine the lessons from where you've been. Right? To like see your obstacles, and as corny as this sounds, but like see your obstacles as opportunities. See the challenges you've been through as like opportunities for growth, right? Things that put you on a path where you're gonna like be successful, right? Love it. Death. I'm just ready to go. Chariot. Excellent. Just keep going. Oh, King of Pentacles. Love it. Ten of Swords. Kind of love it too. Let's look at this. Excuse me for a minute, Libra. I need to just blow my nose here. Don't look at me, okay? All right. So, like, I'm so happy. Like, first of all, we got good major arcanas coming out here, right? Death, Chariot, Emperor, like. Yo, Libra, it's like everything we were just saying about the past like year, maybe even a little longer, but especially this past year, like it's cool that the retrograde is happening at the end of the year because it's already a period where we're like reflecting on like where we've been and like what's happened and what's transpired, right? What a promising sign. Death. Like, after all this shit, we're talking about obstacles and stuff, right? Like, this is why I can't be too mad at the Ten of Swords, right? Because there's almost like a progression here, right? When these spaces cards that come out, moving kind of from death into this space, which isn't too bad, right? Because we have, in between that, the Chariot, which I'm like, we're talking about obstacles and getting past obstacles, right? And learning from your mistakes. To me, the Chariot right now is like using the things that have happened to you, using like the shitty like circumstances you might find yourself in, using the challenges that you faced to like really get clear about like where things are going for you and where like you want to end up. I mean, like, what more could we ask for here? The King of Pentacles. Like, fucking finally, Libra. Like, getting out of the emotions. Like, making, like, focus, like, being about your money. Being about, like, just your life. You know, I love this right now because I know where you guys have been at. And, like, I've been doing readings for Libras and being like, yo, like, you have, like, they want to ask about love and like love never comes up. The cards are always like, yo, Libra, stop talking about love. Like, you have like things to take care of in your life. Like, stop. And I know it's hard because like you're the sign of love and relationships and you feel best when you're in love, right? But like, again, back to the Emperor, if I could pick it up, back to the Emperor, like, Aries is independence. It's like sovereignty. It's like self-empowerment. It's the Emperor is taking this chaos, right? What I just said about obstacles and like learning from like where we've been and the challenges you're facing, the circumstances. The Emperor is about taking this like mumbo jumbo going on down here, being empowered like the magician with all the elements at his disposal, and creating a city, right? Like, right now we have two cards out so far about like creating, manifesting in the real world, right? Just the way the Empress is like kind of the ruler of all the queens, the Emperor is the ruler of all the kings, right? He has the pentacle right there. So this is kind of telling me like very specifically like where Libra is becoming empowered is in the material world, right? Is in like work. Fucking I'm sorry, I don't mean to like be so dramatic about it, but like Libra, I'm like giddy that this card came out for you, really. And then what makes me even happier, Death and Ten of Swords. Like, the worst is passing. Like, Libra is finally like taking control. Like, all of this energy, guys. Like, do you? I wish I could. Like, I want to show you the cards, but like at the end I'll show it. Like, all these cards together. Like, do you just see the movement? Do you see the progress? Do you see how like all like the bullshit is like behind you and now it's like being harnessed into like making shit happen, right? Like, making shit happen, progress, movement, right? Like, real empowerment, real worldly power, Libra, right? So I want to say real quick, like, the Chariot always to me was like a figurative card of movement, but lately I've been thinking about it in like literal ways. So there's a potential in the rest of the year, in the beginning of the year, that you might find yourself in a new job, right? And in a new like maybe living situation, right? With the King of Pentacles, he's the master of the domain of earth, of money, of home, you know, of status. And perfect that we're moving into, like, this is good because we're moving into Capricorn. Saturn is moving into Capricorn in like 2 weeks. And with that harshness about Capricorn, like, if you haven't been doing the work, you're going to feel it, right? So right now is a good crunch time, Libra. And I'm taking this as a Gemini myself. I'm doing the same thing. Right now is a great time to get serious about the work, to get serious about your money. Because if you're not, like, that Saturn in Capricorn is going to fuck up your life. It's going to show you exactly everywhere that you have not been doing the work. And it's going to hurt. Right? So be forewarned. Like, that's what I kind of like about astrology and like tarot is like, it kind of empowers you to just pay attention to certain things, be conscious of certain energies, and you can plan accordingly. Right? So like, time to get your ducks in a row. Time to like let go of the past, right? Time to like, it feels like a stage in your life like is ending. Like, it's the end of an era, Libra. 2018, I think, is going to see you like in a whole new lifestyle. I want to say lifestyle. Like, like what I was saying, where you live, where you work, like how you spend your time. Like, I think you guys are going to be changing, right? The Ten of Swords, it's like the worst is past, right? It's about defeat, but like also it's like a beautiful opportunity to let go. That's what's important for Libra too during this retrograde, like, and the full moon is to like let go. You know, let go of things that seemed nice but like didn't turn out so well, right? Like a relationship is a perfect example. Like how many times do we like, I mean, I've been like thinking about my exes a lot. Like a lot. And like how many times do we get caught up in like thinking about the good things and then like kind of forgetting about the shitty parts, right? Like we get all sucked up in the nostalgia and like the good things, and like how I've been like getting out of the space of thinking about my ex is like it's like 5 minutes where I'm sad and I'm like dwelling, and then it's like, oh shit, I remember that thing. I remember why we broke up. I remember those things he did. I remember like how he treated me. And it's like, nope. No. Libra, like, no. Shit comes around from your past, like, it's the past. Like, this is like dead shit showing its face in your life. Right? Not in this way. This way is like you moving on. You're changing, you're transforming. This shit is like, don't deal with it. Like, be open to like radically changing your whole life, like a building fresh. You know, we never really get like a literally clean start in life, but we get an opportunity to kind of transform, right? To take energy, to take our experiences, to take our circumstances and make something like fucking popping out of it, right? Like he's got a whole city there. Like it's not built from scratch, it's built from the chaos. It's built from the resources, right? So Libra, good opportunity here to just move forward. Like that's everything that's coming here. It's like you guys are just, I feel like you're almost going to be like unrecognizable, but in a good way, right? Where like you're just maybe going from this place of not feeling great, this place of empowerment, this place of like having fun and being happy. Like I feel like this work, I feel like this renewal of like your material world is going to bring like real happiness. Like I just had this conversation with Aries about chasing like the feeling of happiness versus chasing like the things that are going to make you happy. Temperance popped up, right? Like we all get caught up in, you know, that's how you get caught up in cheap thrills and like distractions, right? Like when you're chasing the feeling rather than like the material things that are going to bring that happiness. This kind of came up for Virgo too, like the sense of like when you put your ducks in a row, one day like you'll feel like that Drake song where he's like, we're drinking every day because we drink to our accomplishments, right? Like this is like that real happiness that comes from being able to see like you're killing it at life, you're successful. You can literally look around your like home and see like your work paying off, and you feel comfortable, you feel satisfied, you feel secure, and that's when the like real fun begins, right? Okay, so we have two pathways here. We have Temperance and we have the Empress. Both like really great cards, right? And especially because like we're in Sagittarius time, it's like nice to think about balancing. So the reason I was thinking is because the Empress is kind of in tune with this energy, right? Where it's kind of like taking care of the home, nurturing the self, right? Like making things grow. But she is the counterpart to the Emperor. And I don't want I really don't want you guys, because this is different, right? Both material, both like manifestation, both like growing earthy energy, but this is like very heart centered, right? This is the Taurus card ruled by Venus, love and emotions. And then when we start off here with you guys as the Emperor, like stay the fuck away from relationships right now, Libra. Like if you're in one, that's great, and like you shouldn't neglect it. But like, what is the balancing act that you're doing? Right? Like what I just said with Libra's been so up in their fields for so long, like this is in line with the transformation that Death was talking about. This is in line with the balancing, like the chariot. The chariot, like the figures pulling it are black and white. Like it represents balance. It represents when you have like that stability and centeredness and balance, like how you can just kind of charge forward. Think about a chariot like that's a little out of balance. It's gonna fall over. It's not gonna go anywhere, right? So now Libra, it's almost like compensating. Like compensating for all that time you were stuck, all the time you were emotional, and like filling that other cup, right? It's almost like you're taking all this like energy that's been up here in the emotions and like just filling the other cup. Like I'm gonna say like specifically about your career and money. But if there's anywhere else, Libra, in your life where it's just like, I've been giving way too much attention to this thing, it's time to give attention to that other thing, whatever that may be for you, right? I feel money. Like the first time ever that the Empress was not like the most like sweetest, nicest card ever. I just don't like them together right now. I don't. I think this came up in Taurus where it was like a similar thing where the Emperor and the Empress came up, and for them I kind of liked it because Taurus is so serious about work all the time, and they, like all the earth signs, sometimes forget about the love stuff. So seeing the Empress pop up after the Emperor was like encouraging for them because that's where they maybe need a little more of their energy, right? That balance with like love and counterparts, right? But Libra, like, fuck that. You don't need that. You really don't. I don't like it for you guys. Excellent. Outcome cards, guys. Queen of Swords. Hey, like, I was just saying, like, when the major arcana comes up of a sign that I'm reading for, it's a good indication to me of like that sign being empowered and like just being at their best. This court card is like the next best thing, right? The Queen of Swords is like maybe not at the point of justice, right? Where like you are in that like Libra spiritual fulfillment kind of like moving forward energy, but like the Queen of Swords is like, it's still a Libra card, right? It's like still like you guys are making it happen. Like this is that like place where you're like, fuck your emotions. Time to get in the head. Time to get into like what I was saying before about the real things that are going to bring you happiness. 10 of Cups. Like, first of all, I want to say, Libra, like I kind of see this as an indication of a lot of good family time, right? A lot of like fun and happiness, like perfect for the holidays, right? But there's an element here of like maybe if family things haven't been going too well, or like, you know, you haven't got to spend much time with your friends or whatever it may be. Like this is a good sign of that. But I mean, Libra's never gonna like get fully out of their emotions, right? Very sensitive sign ruled by Venus, right? But like this is your end game. I feel like this is like what Libra ultimately wants, right? Like you're not being the Queen of Swords to be a savage. I mean, you can be a savage, but like that's not the point of what you're doing. You're not just like trying to fuck people up. You're not just trying to like I see her as very close to justice in the fact that, like, you break her rules, she takes your head. Right? And her rules are very fair. They're human rules. They're like, don't betray me, don't backstab me, don't, like, break these simple laws that I set out, like the laws of humanity. So maybe, Libra, it's time to, like, I don't want to say lash out, but, like, push back. People who've been testing you, people who've been pushing you. Time to draw your boundaries, right? Time to tell people off if, like, they need telling off. But what we have here, also the Eight of Wands reversed. Like, to me right now, the card of Mercury Retrograde, right? Communication's just, like, not working out, like, being a little ineffective. So what I was just saying about this stuff with the Queen of Swords, like, telling people off, like, be careful with your words, right? As an air sign, I feel like even though you're ruled by Venus, like, the Mercury Retrograde is still fucking with what we're good at, air signs, which is communication, right? And sure, you can be a bitch, you can, like, be a dick, you can tell people off, you can be sharp-tongued, whatever. But I think, like, if I'm correct, like, the way I feel as a Gemini, and if the other air signs feel the same way, is, like, we prefer to be, like, communicate effectively, right? Like, it's not just about mouthing off, it's about, like, being heard. It's about, like, our words having impact and meaning, right? And with this card here, it's like, that's going to be a little mixed up right now. It's kind of saying to me, Leo, Virgo, what the fuck? Libra. It's kind of saying to me, like, be about yourself, right? This kind of mirrors, like, the Emperor energy, like, don't worry about other people, like, because the wands are also, like, Eight of Wands is about, like, connections and communication, right? Which the Gemini full moon was just bringing up, but which that stuff is getting all jumbled with the Mercury retrograde, right? So, like now is not the time for other people. Like, the people closest to you, your friends, your family, like, not just your, like, acquaintances, but, like, your friends, like the kind of friends who come to, like, holiday dinners with your family, like, that's, if anything, where your energy goes right now, Libra, right? Otherwise, it's all about you. Staying in yourself, staying on your game, right? Like, stop. Do not fuck with other people right now. Like, do not, like, stay away from her. I don't like it. Need a tissue. Don't look. It's funny because I used the same card to block myself last time. Like, this King of Pentacles is, like, brilliant for you guys. I really like that you're here. Bottom of the deck. Libra. Ace of Pentacles. How perfect. Everything we've been talking about new opportunities in the real world, about business, about money. Like, this is just reiterating, like, emphasizing, like, this is where your head is at. This is where your head needs to be. Right? All this energy right now is available to you to, like, make something out of, and, like, you're going to make something out of it. Might require cutting some cords, cutting some ties, or at least cutting out, like, old attitudes and beliefs. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be, like, cutting people out of your life, but, like, if you were, like, in this Libra space I was talking about, where, like, you're just all in your feels and all about relationships or whatever, like, this is you guys saying, like, nah, I'm about my money right now. I'm about, like, making my life, right? Like, I feel like maybe that Capricorn energy is starting to sink in. King of Wands reverse. Well, I don't like the bottom of the deck reverse, but, we'll look at it. Underlying it all, maybe, like, a lack of focus, a lack of drive. Maybe, like, if you have a fire sign in your life who hasn't been, like, great to you, like, Seven of Cups right underneath that, like, usually a card of illusion, but I feel like right now, like with all this other stuff, like with the Pentacles and like the Queen of Swords, it's like coming out of this place of like just being like La La Land fantasy world. I'll do one more. Yes, Libra, Princess of Cups. Like, I love seeing this energy, like just like this renewal of life, this gusto, this zeal, this like happiness, this playful, light-hearted, fun energy. And that's where I see you guys going, like in the next year. But like, I feel like this month, December till the end of the month, is going to be kind of transformational. It's going to put you on that path. And that's really, really encouraging, Libra. Really nice to see. You guys are so sweet, you deserve it. Okay. Sleeping Man. Came up for a couple of other signs too, right? A Wild Woman. I'm with you, I'll get... I just have that Rihanna song, it's like, when I'm with you, all I get is wild. That's what I'm feeling here, like, this like liberation, right? And then we have the Ancestor. So, lots of like people-oriented cards, right? But again, not about people you're putting your energy into. Like we were talking about family, right? We're talking about like where you've been. The Ancestor to me is about like your ancestry, but it's also about where you've been and how you like carry those lessons with you, like everything we've been talking about, right? Like how you kind of, how the past defines you in this moment. And here it's like, I almost want to say like, with the Sleeping Man, I almost feel like this is Libra coming out of it, right? Like snapping out of it, because then we have the Wild Woman. This is just like movement and momentum, right? This is just like that Ten of Swords energy, that liberating, like the Wild Woman, she's kind of to me like throwing off the garments of society and just running naked in the woods, right? It's just like that freedom, it's that liberating, that's like sense of like not giving a fuck in a good way, right? Of like a way that makes you feel lighter, right? Right, so like let's go ahead and take a look at all of these together here real quick. All right, so Libra, like honestly, one of the favorite readings I've done so far. Like there's been a lot of cool readings going on for this full moon, but like, because I know where you guys have been and where you're going, like this is like powerful. Just like so much earth energy, so much like power to create. Like this Ace of Pentacles, if there was like nothing else that like came up in this reading and this was it for you, like that would be all I needed to really see to like feel good about where things are going. But you also have this like letting go of shit, this like taking control. Like look at these two cards together, it's like taking control, like this light-hearted sense of just being able to go, right? Like that light-hearted feeling of progress and movement, right? And just like cutting shit out. Like look at all these cards about like cutting shit out, like letting things go, right? Like even with the past, it's like we're not sitting in these emotions, we're kind of like taking what we need from them and moving forward, right? And we're creating, we're balancing out. We're like, what I love about Temperance and Sag energy is like it's very creative, it's very like razzle dazzle, angel fairy dust kind of like energy, and it brings like this vibrancy, it brings this like glittery energy in a way. And I really like that for you guys right now. I really like this is again reminding me of taking things from your past and being constructive and making something new from it, right? Temperance, like you put a hot steel in water and it makes like a sword, right? Great, Libra. Like you're finally fucking free, but watch your mouth. So Libra, I see that Virgo heeded that warning and stayed the fuck out, because this is all about you. all about you. Weird for a sign of partnership to be like stuck in this place that's all about like yourself, but that's the balancing act we're talking about, right? That's what I was saying about filling the other cup, right? So Libra, in the description, there's a link to my Instagram. Follow me there. I have a holiday sale on personal readings, half off, so there's links there. Check that out. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I love the comments. Like, it makes me feel like I'm actually interacting with humans instead of just talking to a camera, which feels great. And Libra, like, I went into this feeling hyped, like so ready to just talk to you guys, and now I'm leaving it like feeling good. Like I might not even do another reading for a little while. I have a couple of other signs to finish up, but I'm supposed to be at work today, but like there's California's basically on fire right now, and so my office closed down for the day, so I'm taking advantage of that and like finishing up my readings. But so I might chill for a little bit, but either way, like Libra, I'm very encouraged. Excuse me. I promise next time I won't be like wiping my nose on camera. But it's important to talk, right? Like Mercury Retrograde, like I could not put off these readings. I could not like skip it and like catch up next time. Like this was important. This was valuable. I hope you found it that way too. Alright guys, I love you lots to like itty bitty fucking pieces. And I will see you in a few weeks. Alright.